watching TAG TV.
Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 21st of November. Indian capital wakes up to thick blanket of smog. Air quality remains poor. Pakistani Christian woman acquitted of blasphemy lacks asylum offers. And at least 55 killed in suicide bomb blast in Afghanistan capital. And now for all the details. The air quality in Indian capital New Delhi has been consistently oscillating between poor and very poor category for the past few days. Residents in the city woke up to a thick blanket of smog and dust on Wednesday. Residents in New Delhi struggled to breathe on Wednesday morning as the Indian capital continued to remain under a thick blanket of smog. The smog drastically reduced visibility on roads, forcing commuters to switch on the headlights of their vehicles. The US Embassy said PM 2.5 levels in Delhi had soared to 367 at 6 am. That would put the pollution at hazardous level and pose a serious health risk to residents.
जो ये पोल्यूशन है उसके साथ पूरी जनता कॉम्प्रोमाइज कर रही है सबको मिलके काम करना पड़ेगा सरकार को इंडिविजुअल्स को भी
Delhi has been suffering from hazardous air quality for the past few months now as a result of farm stubble burning in the neighbouring agriculture provinces of Punjab and Haryana and vehicular pollution aggravated with construction activities. Delhi's air is among the worst in the world, although many in the city of more than 20 million are unable or unwilling to protect themselves from its effects. In news from Pakistan, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan has hit back at US President Donald Trump's claim that Islamabad does not do anything for the United States. In a series of tweets, Khan said that instead of making Pakistan a scapegoat for their failures, the US should do a serious assessment of why, despite so many efforts, the Taliban today is stronger than before in Afghanistan.
Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan has said instead of making Pakistan a scapegoat for their failures, the US should do a serious assessment of why, despite so many efforts, the Taliban today is stronger than before in Afghanistan. His remarks came after the US President Donald Trump berated Islamabad for not doing anything for the US in an interview to an American news channel on Sunday. Trump, while defending his administration's decision to stop hundreds of millions of dollars in military aid to Pakistan, had said the country does not do a damn thing for the United States. He also accused Islamabad of sheltering former Al-Qaeda chief Osama bin Laden. Few hours after Khan commented on Twitter, Trump again reacted by calling them fools and said US should have captured Laden long before it did and that it had paid Pakistan billions of dollars, but Pakistan never told them he was living there. Relations between uneasy allies United States and Pakistan have frayed since Trump in January this year accused Islamabad of sheltering militants who stage attacks in Afghanistan. Following his statement, Washington also announced suspension of all military aid to Pakistan for its failures in tackling militancy in the region.
More on news from Pakistan. A lawyer of Asia Bibi, the Pakistani Christian woman acquitted of blasphemy charges, has appealed Germany to give her whole family citizenship to start a new life in Europe. Bibi was convicted of blasphemy in 2010 over allegations she made derogatory remarks about Islam. Pakistan Supreme Court acquitted her last month.
SAIFUL MULOOK, lawyer for Asia Bibi, a Pakistani Christian woman acquitted of capital blasphemy charges on Tuesday, appealed to Germany to give her whole family citizenship to start a new life in Europe. SAIFUL MULOOK told a news conference in Frankfurt that Bibi is now free, but she and her family needs a passport to leave the country. MULOOK, who has himself sought refuge in the Netherlands after being threatened for taking on Bibi's case, further added that Bibi had no preference as to which country she would travel for asylum.
If the German Chancellor today direct her ambassador at Islamabad to issue 4 passports, 1 to Asia Bibi, 1 to her husband Ashik, and 2 to her 2 daughters, to conferring upon them the German nationality. None can stop them for 1 second even. 1 second, because they are not Pakistani, they are no more Pakistani. But no government is so far coming forward in such an open and free manner.
Bibi was convicted of blasphemy in 2010 over allegations she made derogatory remarks about Islam after neighbors objected to her drinking water from their glass because she was not Muslim. The Supreme Court of Pakistan acquitted her last month. After the judgment, hundreds of protesters in the country took to the streets calling for Bibi to be hanged. They also staged protests seeking Bibi's name to be put on exit control list, barring her from leaving the country, and opened a review of the verdict in the courts.
Moving on, massive anti-Pakistan protests were held recently across Balochistan by activists and common public to demand immediate release of missing Baloch persons, whom they claim have been abducted by Pakistani forces. The protesters highlighted that Pakistan has been using enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings in Balochistan to muzzle dissenting voices.
Massive anti-Pakistan protests were held recently across Balochistan by activists and locals against enforced disappearances of innocent Baloch people. The protesters demanded the immediate release of hundreds of Baloch activists and intellectuals who they claimed have kidnapped and are being tortured by the Pakistani army and the inter-services intelligence. They blamed the judiciary and government for failing to take notice of the alarming situation. They also demanded that enforced disappearances should be criminalized. Baloch activists have long blamed that Pakistan forces use extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearance as means to muzzle dissenting voices in Balochistan. They have been protesting worldwide to seek help from the international community and human rights organizations.
In news from Afghanistan, at least 55 people were killed in a suicide bomb attack that took place during a religious congregation at a banquet hall in Afghanistan's capital, Kabul. More than 80 people were injured in the blast.
Death toll rose to at least 55 on Wednesday in the suicide bomb blast that took place in a banquet hall on Tuesday in Afghanistan's capital city, Kabul. The victims in the bomb blast included religious delegates from various parts of the country who had gathered in the banquet hall to observe the festival of Eid-e-Milad-un-Nabi. A spokesperson of Afghanistan's Interior Ministry said that more than 80 people were injured in the blast. Militant group Taliban denied any involvement in the blast and condemned the attack on religious preachers and scholars. Meanwhile, President Ashraf Ghani called Tuesday's attack un-Islamic and unforgivable, besides declaring Wednesday as a day of mourning.
Moving on to news from Bangladesh, a renowned Bangladeshi photographer and activist Shahidul Alam was released from prison on Tuesday night after more than 100 days behind bars in a closely watched freedom of speech case. Alam was detained in August for posing comments on the protests that were sparked in the country after a bus ran over 2 students, leading to their deaths.
Shahidul Alam, an award-winning photographer and activist in Bangladesh, was released from jail late on Tuesday after spending more than 100 days behind bars. Alam was detained in August from his Dhaka apartment building on charges of spreading rumors on social media with the aim of inciting violence. The arrest was followed by his post and comments on the protests in Bangladesh that were sparked by the death of 2 students 2 weeks ago in a road accident, reports suggest. The crowded capital of 18 million in Bangladesh, Dhaka, after the deaths was paralyzed by angry school and college students demanding changes in transport laws. During the protest, the Bangladesh police was also accused of firing tear gas shells and bullets on the protesting students, injuring many. Last month, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had said she was convinced Alam instigated trouble by spreading what she called false news about protests against her rule. His family and lawyer rejected the accusations.
A skill training workshop for specially able persons was organized on Tuesday in Shimla city of India's northern Himachal Pradesh province to provide them necessary job, relevant skills and bringing them to the mainstream.
A skill training workshop for specially abled persons was organized recently in Shimla city of India's northern Himachal Pradesh province. The workshop was organized by the provincial government, in which more than 2,000 specially abled persons participated and learned skills related to different fields. It aimed at teaching necessary job-relevant skills to the specially abled persons and bringing them to the mainstream.
इसमें वैसे तो हम हर वर्ग के लिए काम करते हैं, लेकिन आज विशेष तौर पर आज का कार्यक्रम इनके लिए है और मुझे ऐसा लगता है इस प्रकार के कार्यक्रमों से, सेमिनार से, वर्कशॉप से इनको और ज़्यादा स्किल मिलेगा और हमारी कोशिश रहेगी, हमारे विभाग की भी ये कोशिश है कि हम इन बच्चों की ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इन्वॉल्वमेंट इन सारे विषयों पे करें।
लोगों को बहुत ज़्यादा अवेयरनेस की ज़रूरत है कि इंडिपेंडेंट क्या होता है कि जहाँ पर भी डिसेबिलिटी होती है ना, वहाँ पर ये हो जाता है कि भाई ये तो बच्चा विकलांग हो गया, अब ये कुछ कर नहीं सकता और उसको चैरिटी इशू बना देते हैं। वो अभी तक नहीं आ रहा कि नहीं ये चैरिटी इशू नहीं है, इसको आप मेन स्ट्रीम में लाने के लिए इसको अर्निंग मेंबर बनाओ।
The specially abled persons often struggle to make a living for themselves in India. However, some government programs and efforts of the social workers are producing results, and slowly these persons are coming to the mainstream.
Muslims across India and Nepal on Wednesday took out processions and offered prayers in mosques to observe Eid-e-Miladun-Nabi, the birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad. Similar scenes were witnessed in neighboring Nepal, where people took out a rally to mark the festival. Muslims across India on Wednesday took out processions to mark Eid-e-Miladun-Nabi, the birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad. Hundreds of Muslims participated in the religious procession in Moradabad city of India's northern Uttar Pradesh province that passed through the busiest roads of the city, giving the message of peace and brotherhood as taught by Prophet Muhammad. People were seen raising slogans in the praise of the Prophet and enjoying delicacies on the stalls put up by the people to celebrate the festival. Similar scenes were witnessed in Guwahati city of India's northeastern Assam province, where people participated in a procession, playing religious songs on loudspeakers and chanting hymns and verses from the Muslim holy book Quran.
सिर्फ मुस्लिम के लिए नहीं, सारा हिंदू क्रिश्चियन जितने भाई हैं सबके लिए हम लोग ये रैली लिया है, विश्व शांति के लिए, भाईचारा के लिए। आसाम में शांति हो, इंडिया में शांति हो, सारी दुनिया में शांति हो, उसी कायम के लिए जुलूस निकल रहा है।
Meanwhile, Muslims in Birganj city of neighboring Nepal also took out a rally to mark the birth anniversary of Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca, Hijaz, now Saudi Arabia, in AD 570. He is considered a messenger and prophet sent by God to preach the message of peace. He passed away on the same day in 632 AD. Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.